I have found that there's lots of different ways to look at things, and sometimes hearing it from a different perspective helps you understand. So if you're having trouble understanding volume, hopefully this will help.
Hello, this is Mr. Buffington, and we are looking at volume today. We're going to talk about what volume is, calculate the volume of a rectangular prism, and then we're going to practice a little bit. So first off, what is volume? Volume is, in sort of common terms, it's how much stuff you can fit inside of something, inside of a three-dimensional solid. So because it's something that you fit inside of another something, it's measured in 3 dimensions, and we often measure them in 3-dimensional cubes. For example, this would be, if it's 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, we would call that a cubic inch. So it's a little square that's 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. Now the way that we calculate volume kind of looks like this. If I had this larger cube, and I asked myself how many of the smaller cubes can fit inside this, and then I'd start kind of placing the smaller cubes inside there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 cubic inches inside of this larger cube. And that's the basics of volume. How many cubes can fit inside of other objects? Not always cubes, but different objects. Any 3-dimensional solid, we say how many cubic inches or cubic centimeters, cubic feet can we fit inside of that. So it's measured in 3 dimensions. It's measured in cubic units, whatever the unit of measurement is, and it's like that. All right, let's talk about one shape specifically. This polyhedron is called a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism is like this. It has rectangles on the sides of the figure. At least 2 of the sides are rectangular that are opposite each other, which makes basically all of the sides either rectangular or it could be a square on the end. But they're going to look like this. This is a rectangular prism. And all of the angle measurements are 90 degrees. That's kind of a given with rectangular prisms. So with a rectangular prism, when we're trying to calculate the volume, we would use this equation. The volume is equal to the length times the width times the height, where this is the length, this is the width, and this is the height. Now, if you forget which one is length and which one is width and which one is height, it doesn't matter because you can really turn this on end, and then it would change all of them. And because we're multiplying, it doesn't matter what order you do them in. So all you have to remember is that the different measurements you're given, you're multiplying them all together. So let's do one quick here example of calculating the volume of this rectangular prism when you're given 3 measurements. This
Okay, there's our first one. See if you can find the volume of this rectangular prism and type it into question and answer chat. This is a tough one, especially multiplying by 1.
5 centimeters is our length, 2 centimeters is our width, 1 centimeter is our height. So our volume is the length times the width times the height, and I would write that out as 5 times 2 times 1 and calculate that as being 10 cubic centimeters. All right, it's also easy to remember cubic centimeters if we looked at it centimeter times centimeter times centimeter, and there's going to be a 3 up top. All right, that's a quick way to remember that. But again, if you change the order of the length, width, and height, it would not matter. You're just multiplying the 3 numbers together to get your volume. Now that I've shown you, it's time for practice. I'd like you to go ahead and pause the recording, try and find the volume.
Haha, look at that. We paused the recording. You didn't even have to pause. All right. Go ahead and type your answer into question answer chat.
Volume of this rectangular prism. Go ahead and calculate the volume using the equation. I'll even give you the equation this time. All right, were you able to successfully multiply 7 times 2 times 2 and get 28 cubic centimeters? 7 times 2 is 14, 14 times 2 is 28. 28 cubic centimeters will be the volume of this rectangular prism. Let's try another one. Go ahead and calculate the volume.
Okay, there you go. Another problem to do. Go ahead and type the answer into question answer chat.
This time I'm not giving you the equation. Go ahead and pause the recording and try and calculate the volume of this yellow rectangular prism. And you're back. Here's the equation. Length times width times height. 6 times 3 times 2. Do you get 32 cubic centimeters? I hope not, because that answer's wrong. All right, I did that on purpose to throw you off, in case you were just like dozing off or something. What did you get when you multiplied those together? Hopefully it was not 32 cubic centimeters, but 36 cubic centimeters. That's what we were looking for. All right, you gotta stay on your toes in this class. All right,